Back here with Antoine Walker. Time for stories to start your morning. Pelicans, Lakers. The kid versus the king last night. Zion was good. Finished with 29 points, 6 rebounds, but LeBron was better. Going off for a season-high 40 points as the Lakers get the win, 118-109. Twan, how much fun was it watching these two superstars play?
Great game last night. I thought LeBron was special, especially in the open court, getting out in transition, showing us he still has the unbelievable athletic ability, the way he dominated the game. And then, obviously, Zion, I thought we saw used to him shoot 70% from the field. We thought he had a bad game, but he still had a tremendous game. And obviously, you know, Zion's going to be one of those special players that we're going to have to live with for the next 15 years, hopefully.
Zion, the fact that 29, 6, and 3 on 8 of 18 from the field, it's like, okay, that was good. It wasn't great, it was good. Speaks to how amazing he's been. But I know the approach LeBron had last night, attacking high-volume shots, that's the approach you think he's going to have come postseason, especially against the Clippers.
Oh, without question. LeBron James, we've seen the way he performed in the NBA Finals for the last couple years. We need that LeBron. We saw a little bit of that last night.
And you saw it right before the break against Denver as well.
All right, the other big game last night, Drake's Toronto Raptors hosting the Bucks, and it was going to take more than Champagne Papi's courtside trash talk to slow down Giannis. The Greek Freak, 19 points, 19 rebounds, 8 assists. As the Bucks become the first team to 50 wins, Nick, can anything stop the Bucks from getting out of the East?
If they're healthy, I don't see it. And now I understand Budenholzer's got a tortured history of great teams falling short in the postseason. I think this team's too great, and I don't see any other. If there was going to be a team in the East, it'd be this team, Toronto. And here's another guy, Antoine, who we're so numb to his greatness. 19, 19, and 8. We're like, hey, Giannis, what was wrong with you, buddy? And so, no, I don't think anyone can challenge Milwaukee in the East.
I think it just shows how good their team is now when he can get 19, 8, and 8, and we think we need 34, 35 points a game for him to be effective. But no, last night showed me the guy Chris Middleton is the difference maker for them. I mean, it's this 50, 40, 90, having an unbelievable year. He's got a legitimate superstar next to him and Chris Middleton.
You know, we haven't talked about in a while, Steph Curry. The 3-time NBA champ will reportedly return from his broken hand Sunday at home against the Wizards. Antoine, good idea to bring Steph back at this point in the season?
This is all about Steph. I don't think this is about the team. I think Steph has spoken up and said, hey, I want to play. I'm healthy. I want to be out on the court with my guys. I think this is great. I'm old school. I believe you should be on the court. And if you love the game, you should want to play. You can't predict when you're going to get hurt or how you're going to get hurt. You got to go out there and play and have a clear mind. And I'm happy that Steph is back because he's getting ready for the Olympics, too.
I'm happy he's back. I agree he has a responsibility to play. The idea that if he didn't play the rest of this year, it would have no impact on his ability to be Steph bleeping Curry next year is silly. Like 20 games at the end of this year will get him more prepared for next season. And they have already been what I would consider extremely cautious with this hand injury, which they should be. If you aren't competing for a championship and you have a star suffer an injury, be as cautious as you can be. But that doesn't mean you then just rest a guy for the final 2 months of the season.
And too, they got a couple pieces. I mean, obviously, Andrew Wiggins, I know you're not big on him. He's on a team you want to see him play. Kevin Looney's back. Obviously, Draymond's been playing. So you're not like, no, you still got some guys on the floor that can play with you. So I think this is fine with him coming back.
Steph and Andrew Wiggins last night in 34 minutes combined for 0 rebounds and 1 assist.
Love you, Nick. Knew it was coming. You just got to wait for it. On to the Rockets. Their last 2 seasons ended at the hands of the then mighty Golden State Warriors, who are mighty no longer. They've got the worst record in the NBA, which isn't lost on the Rockets, with Rockets owner Tillman Fertitta saying, quote, none of us fear the Lakers or the Clippers or Denver like we feared Golden State. It's not like we were scared of them. We could easily win the West this year or get knocked out in the first round. Nick, what do you make of what Fertitta had to say?
That's absolutely right. The exciting part of this season is the lack of an overwhelming favorite. That you've got, for most people, let me remove my opinion out from this for a moment because I think differently of the Clippers than my Clippers opinion is way outside of the mainstream. And I think I'm going to be proven right, but there have been 1 or 2 times in my history where I've been wrong, so let's assume there's one of them. The vast majority of people think there is a top 3 of the Lakers, the Clippers, and the Bucks in some order or another, and then another very healthy, upper middle class of the Rockets, of the Raptors, of the Celtics, of the Sixers if they get their act together, of Denver. And now you've got, that's more than a quarter of the league that is legitimate championship contenders. The healthy Golden State, it was Golden State and then, maybe if LeBron and Kyrie both play a perfect series, they can take them 6. And then the Rockets, if with Chris Paul and James Harden, if they play as well as they can and win every close game, and they took them 7. But you knew it was Golden State was going to have to probably suffer an injury, maybe suffer a couple, and they still might be able to beat you. That is not at all what this season is. This season, to me, has 2 major favorites, but then a bunch of other really good teams. The last few years had one overwhelming favorite. So, Antoine, I think Tillman Fertitta is 100% correct.
I agree with him as well. I think you think about when those teams, when you thought about the first team, Steph, Clay, Draymond, used to be like, man, how we going to beat them? And then you add Andre Iguodala, Sean Livingston, those guys, you was like, man, they got a real good core. And teams used to be scared to play against them. Then when they added Kevin Durant, it went to a whole nother level. We already put them in the championship. We knew LeBron was going to get it in the finals against them and be a little handicapped against them. But it was a fear that we knew playing against Golden State, if you can keep it close, it was like, oh, okay, that was a good game. Yep. We kept it close against them. So I do agree with him on that opinion about that. But I think now, if you look at Houston and the way they've done their team and now even going to small ball, the way they just said forget it, nobody's scared of the Lakers or the Clippers. They believe that they can be beat by anybody. And that's why you see Houston make the move they made and say, okay, well, we're going to get rid of Clint Capella. We're going to play small ball. You wouldn't have made that move if you felt like you were scared of the Lakers because the Lakers has size. And you would believe that, hey, we need to have some bigs to battle Anthony Davis, to battle with JaVale McGee and those guys. But now teams don't fit it. They believe that their style maybe can win out.
And quietly, by the way, the Rockets, second longest winning streak in the league. Russ playing exceptional basketball. Russ, the Clint Capella trade, once again, Daryl Morey does something. The vast majority of the media says, the hell's Daryl thinking? And it looks like Daryl's smarter than most people.
Well, he's winning games during the regular season. The Houston problem, and as we continue to talk about the Rockets,
the postseason.
Yeah, and can James Harden get over that hump? He has to get over that hump in the playoffs where he's able to lead his team past the Lakers or the Clippers to get to the final.
I agree with you, but the point I'm making about Daryl and the Clint Capella trade, Clint Capella, by the way, who's still not back with the injury, is Daryl and James are tied together, right? James is going to be there forever, and Daryl will be there as long as as he wants to be. If Daryl were to have any concerns that I think you have, that a lot of people have, about what if James hits another wall in the postseason, what you have to have is the best version of Russell Westbrook possible. And trading away Capella and making it to where Russ has sinners guarding him and Russ can just go full speed and nobody can match it has unlocked the best version of Russell Westbrook. So even if Harden has a playoff hiccup, maybe that doesn't kill you the way it did in years past because we are now seeing a Russell Westbrook. But like the Rockets right now in the first round would play the Jazz. They've played the Jazz 3 times since they went super small.
Yeah, Jazz can't beat them.
Gobert becomes unplayable. The one time the Jazz did beat him was on that last-second shot, I think, by Bogdanovich at the end. But he's made Gobert, who's the second-best player on the Jazz, be unplayable in those games.
And I would say this, the last thing about the Rockets. They did make some moves who I thought were better, and I talked about this. If you're going to play small ball, you got to have the right personnel. Adding Jeff Green and DeMarre Carroll are two better guys to play in small ball. They both can shoot the 3. They're better defensive players. They're also guys. So they're making the right moves to kind of fine-tune that small ball right now.
And by the way, Ben McLemore, who was a lottery bust, people thought his career was on the fringes, shooting like 43% from 3 for them this year. To me, after L.A. and Milwaukee, the Rockets have as good of a chance as anybody in basketball, including the Clippers.